Rain falls like thin silver lines cutting the cold morning air, hitting empty streets, sliding off bright cars parked in front of tall luxury towers that stand like glass mountains in the middle of silence. Maria walks fast through the HOA community road, holding an old umbrella that shakes with every wind push, shoes wet from puddles, jacket thin because she can't afford warm one this year. She is young, but her face carries tired shadows from long nights working in rich houses where no one knows her name except when they shout orders. Her hair tied in simple knot, no makeup, no time for beauty when life gives you bills faster than dreams. Behind her thin smile lives small fear. Rent, school fee, medicine for her brother. Everything comes like storm every month, and she stands alone like small boat on big sea. Her little brother, Daniel, 7 years old, sleeps at neighbor's home until she returns. She kissed his forehead in mourning before leaving, whispering promise. I will make life better, little one. She makes promise every morning like prayer, even when she doesn't know how. Maria works as cleaner in same luxury building where rich people live like kings, talking about problems that sound like jokes to her. My watch too small, pool water too cold, this painting wrong wall. But she never laughs. She cleans quietly, invisible person walking between expensive shoes and cold hearts. HOA rules are like metal cage around everything. Where to park, what to plant, how loud to breathe. Poor workers like Maria walk softly because even their footsteps feel like rule. Rain splashes louder. Maria enters narrow lane beside glass tower, watching puddles reflect bright lights. Suddenly her shoe touches something soft underwater. She bends down, fingers cold, lifting wallet from puddle, leather dark, water dripping. She wipes it with sleeve, surprised by weight of it. She opens gently, heart beating fast, and her eyes widen. Inside, $1,300 cash, folded neatly, nothing missing. She stares at money like it is sun inside dark room, warmth she never touched. For a second her mind goes silent, thoughts fight inside her. Rent due tomorrow, little brother needs shoes, bills pile like mountain. One decision and her life changes direction. But beside cash lies one small photo. A little child smiling, holding toy airplane, eyes bright like world has no sadness. And next to photo, a card with one name, Evan. No address, no number, just name written in quiet confidence. Maria breathes deep, hand shaking. She imagines someone crying now, someone losing memory of their child, someone thinking strangers stole memory of their past. Her own heart remembers picture she carries of her parents. The only photo she has, how she held it tight like life. She closes wallet sharply, decision clear in her eyes. She whispers to herself like explaining to destiny, it is not mine. She walks into HOA office, rain dripping on floor behind her. Security guards sit bored, scrolling on phones, drinking coffee. When Maria puts wallet on desk, they stare like she placed bomb. I found this outside, she says, voice calm, eyes tired. Someone will come looking. Don't take anything. Guards look at cash peeking from side, then look at Maria like she is alien on earth. One guard laughs loud, echoing an empty office. You're stupid. Free money. You need it more than any rich man here. His friend joins laughter, mocking tone. If I found it, I would buy new jacket today. Maria looks at them without anger. She just repeats words quietly, it isn't mine, then walks away, leaving guards confused, looking at each other as if honesty is disease they don't understand. But someone else understands, cameras above blink red, recording everything like silent witness. Maria begins work shift, cleaning long hall with glass windows showing rain drawing long lines like someone writing story on sky. The residents walk past her like wind, never seeing her. She wipes floors, picks trash, cleans mirrors showing faces that don't look at her directly. But her mind still on wallet, on picture of child. Somewhere someone crying now. Hours pass. Afternoon comes. Maria eating small bread during break, sitting in storage room, thinking about her brother waiting at neighbor home. Her hands cold from water today, but heart little warm because she did right thing even if no one knows. She hears movement outside office. Security speaking to someone. She hears voice. Tired. Low. Shaking. Asking, "Did someone return wallet?" She stands up slowly, curiosity pushing her feet. She steps out quietly, stands in corner. A man stands near desk. Not rich suit, not shiny shoe. Old jacket wet from rain, dusty shoes, hair messy like he worked outside all day. He looks poor, tired, hungry. Guards give wallet with cold body language like throwing bone to dog. Here, one says rolling eyes. Man opens wallet quickly, counts cash, all same. Then his eyes stop at photo. His fingers touch it slow, like touching memory with fear it may break. His shoulders drop with relief. Then he looks at Maria, like he already knew she was one who returned it. His eyes fill with something strange. Mix of sadness, respect, and deep surprise. He walks to her slowly, ignoring guards. He whispers only to her, voice cracked from emotion. "You didn't take even $1, why?" Maria stands straight, looking into his eyes without shake. Her voice soft but firm. "It wasn't mine." Simple answer, like truth doesn't need explanation. Man nods slowly, breathing heavy like something inside him shifting. His eyes almost tear. He says nothing more. On his way out, he turns back, looking at her again. Not like stranger, but like someone recognizing something rare. In soft voice guards don't hear. He whispers, "I'll see you again." Then he walks away, jacket wet, shoes dirty, but back straight now. Maria doesn't understand his reaction. Why he looked emotional. Why his eyes full of stories she can't read. Why he said he will see her again. Is he angry? Is he grateful? Who is he? She stands alone in hall. Security whisper behind, "Crazy man. Poor guy crying over wallet." Maria stays silent, but inside her questions grow like rising water. She returns to work, cleaning steps slowly, mind heavy. Rain outside stops, but her thoughts don't. Night falls early today. Maria leaves building tired, umbrella broken from wind. She walks home, shoes wet again, streets empty, lights flickering. She thinks about money she could have kept. How one decision changed nothing in her life, but maybe changed something in someone else's life. She thinks about child in picture, about man's eyes when he saw photo. She wonders what story lives inside wallet. She reaches neighbor's home. Daniel runs to her, hugging waist, smiling big smile that melts all tiredness. She gives him bread, kisses forehead. They walk to small rental room HOA hates because paint old, window cracked. Inside small room, she lights candle, helps Daniel with homework. Rain sound like soft music now. She falls asleep thinking of two worlds. Rich world she cleans every day, poor world she belongs to, and thin line between them called luck. People on other side think honesty stupid, but she sleeps peaceful, not rich in money but rich in heart. Next morning, HOA office receives email from unknown address. High priority. Subject, emergency meeting tomorrow, with Maria present. Signed only with one name, Evan. Security confused. Board members confused. Who is Evan? But Maria remembers card in wallet, Evan. Her heart jumps, confusion spreading through body. The poor-looking man? Why email like powerful person? Why want meeting? Why want her there? Cameras on wall blink red again, recording confusion on rich faces like small justice inside machine. Maria stands in corner as board reads email. They whisper like afraid of ghost. One says, "Evan Carter? The Evan Carter." Another replies, "Impossible. That man yesterday was poor worker." They don't know some people wear truth, not suit. Night comes again, rain soft. Maria looks out window holding cup of tea, wondering why world's suddenly shaking around her. She whispers to herself, "Tomorrow everything changes." She doesn't know if change good or bad. She only knows someone said he will see her again. And now tomorrow entire building waiting for man named Evan to arrive. Her story begins with wallet soaked in rain, not knowing it carries key to two destinies crossing. Camera fades slowly on her face near window. Eyes reflecting city lights, hands holding warm cup, heart holding fear and small hope. Morning came with sky still gray, clouds heavy like they don't want to leave, rain hanging in air like unfinished thought. Maria woke early, heart beating fast without reason she could control, hands shaking while tying hair into small bun, trying to look neat even though clothes simple as every day. She wanted to hide, not be noticed by rich people who laugh at her shoes, but today her name printed on email that shook whole building. She walked through HOA entrance quietly, trying not to make sound with wet shoes, eyes low, but everyone's eyes on her like light shining on something fragile. Residents whispered behind coffee cups. Guards stood straight suddenly. Board members walked fast like soldiers without purpose. The world that never saw her was staring now, and she didn't know if this attention meant danger or blessing. Security called her into big conference room on top floor. Room she only saw while cleaning floor outside door. Room full of expensive chairs, paintings of mountains that rich people never climbed, windows showing whole city like toy landscape. Maria walked in slowly, feeling like shoes too loud on silent wooden floor. Board members already sitting like kings around long table, faces polite but cold, eyes sharp like knives covered with smile. Maria sat at small chair in corner, like furniture nobody wants but room needs. They didn't greet her, just stared like she is problem they don't want to exist. Minutes passed heavy like stones. Rain sound tapping window like clock ticking inside silence. Suddenly door opened calmly. A man walked in with slow steps. Maria looked up and heart jumped. She recognized him immediately. Same old jacket, same dusty shoes, same tired eyes. The man who asked for wallet like he lost world inside it. But now atmosphere changed. The moment he stepped in, everyone stood. Board members who never stand for cleaners now stand fast like rope pulled them up. Their voices changed tone instantly. Full respect, fear hiding behind smiles. "Good morning, Mr. Carter," President of Board said with voice shaking slightly. Maria froze. Mr. Carter. That name heavy like mountain. She heard rumors cleaning rich houses. Evan Carter, young millionaire CEO, owner of half-luxury buildings in this city. Leader with power to move money like wind. Man who dresses simple sometimes to check truth. Stories sounded like legend to her, not real life. Yet he stood in front of her wearing same old clothes that looked like street worker. Hands simple, face human. Nothing like shiny photos on magazine covers hanging in lobby. She looked at him like world flipped in 1 second. Poor man from yesterday, now most powerful person in room today. Evan didn't sit immediately. He walked slowly across table, eyes scanning board members. Silence spread like fog. Without raising voice, he said something heavy enough to drop whole room into fear. Yesterday I lost something valuable. And today I came to return something valuable too. Truth. His tone soft, but weight inside words enough to crush roofs. Board tried fake smile. "We are happy wallet returned safely," President said. Evan shook head slowly. "Wallet is not story. The person is story." He then turned his face toward Maria. His eyes gentle, suddenly different from cold gaze he gave Board. He said quietly, but everyone heard clearly, "She found my wallet. She returned every dollar. She didn't take one coin." Maria wanted sink into chair. So many eyes looking deep into her life. Board members clapped weakly, pretending proud. But Evan raised hand, stopping their fake applause. "Don't clap for something you didn't do." Their faces turned pale. Smiles died fast like candle in storm. He walked near Board President, placing wallet on table gently like evidence, not object. He looked at President straight, eyes hard now. "When she returned wallet, your guards laughed at her." Room air shifted, tension heavy. Board President forced smile, trying to hide fear. "Just misunderstanding," he whispered. Evan replied sharp like blade wrapped in silk. "Honesty is not misunderstanding. Cruelty is." Maria watched, heart pounding. Never saw powerful man speak like fire without shouting. Evan's voice calm but sharp enough to cut excuses. He turned toward guards standing quietly at door. "Bring recording," he ordered. One guard jumped to move, shaking. He placed small device on table, pressed play. Room filled with sound of laughter. Guards joking, calling Maria stupid, mocking poverty. Maria lowered eyes, tears hiding in eyelashes. She didn't want humiliation repeated, But Evan didn't play it to shame her. He played it to show truth louder than excuses. Board members shifted in chairs, eyes avoiding each other. Evan spoke again, voice slow like someone controlling anger. I was watching from camera. I left wallet on street on purpose. To see heart of this place. Maria's eyes widened, shock crossing face. It wasn't accident? Evan looked at her, emotion warm. You returned wallet like it meant world. Others saw only money. You saw person. Board tried defend themselves. Sir, tests are wrong way to judge system, one said. Evan responded calm. System judged itself. Another board woman whispered. She could steal. We cannot trust anyone. Evan looked at her deeply. You trust rules more than humanity. That is why your community dying inside. Room silent like graveyard. Maria's head low. She felt exposed in front of powerful people. All history of hunger, cold nights, torn shoes visible on her like clothes of truth. She didn't want fame, only peace. But Evan made her center of story without asking, not to use her, but to protect heart people throw easily. Evan finally sat, but didn't sit at head chair. He sat near Maria, leaving head chair empty like power doesn't need throne. Bored, confused. Why sit near cleaner? Why give poor woman importance? Evan spoke softer now, words sliding like calm river, but room drowned in weight. I know this building. I know fines you put on old people. I know how you treat cleaners. I know how you hide problems behind glass. Bored eyes wide. How he knew. Evan continued. I visit buildings without saying name. I watch truth under rules. President tried again. We follow policy. We maintain standards. Evan smiled faintly but pain inside smile. Standards that punish honesty are broken standards. Maria sat frozen, heart mixing fear and respect. No one ever defended her like that. No one ever spoke her pain in front of people who caused it. She looked down, tears falling silently on jeans, trying hide emotion. Evan noticed without looking directly. He placed hand gently on table near her, not touching, but close enough to show she not alone. Then he asked bored question like hammer hitting wall. If she kept money, would you praise her? If she returned wallet empty, would you punish her? Why is morality joke for you? None answered. They looked like people whose masks removed in daylight. He turned to Maria, voice gentle like wind touching leaf. Tell them why you didn't take money. Maria looked up slowly, eyes red but steady, voice shaking but strong truth. Because it wasn't mine. Room silent. That sentence simple like grain of rice but heavy like truth of entire world. Everything wrong starts when people take what isn't theirs. Board president forced laugh, insulting tone hiding fear. That's naive thinking. Money is opportunity. Maria replied softly. Stealing opportunity is not opportunity. Evan smiled faintly, not smile for her answer only, but smile because truth simple when spoken by someone who lived pain. Evan looked around room, making decision. From today, he said quietly but room shook inside. I will review every complaint in this building, every fine, every rule. Bored eyes opened wide. President jumped. Sir, this is against procedure. Evan replied sharp. Procedure killed kindness. He stood up again, walking to window. Rain stopped outside. Sunlight trying push clouds. He spoke without turning. And she will be present in all reviews. Board shocked. Cleaner in policy meetings? Impossible in their world. President whispered. She is only cleaner. Evan turned slowly. She is honest. That is higher qualification than any of you. Maria's heart almost stopped. She didn't want fight powerful people, but now she became symbol of truth without asking. Fear rose inside her like wave. What if they hate her now? What if they hurt her brother? Her voice quiet, almost whisper. Sir, why me? Evan looked into her eyes deeply, voice warm. Because you remembered humanity when everyone forgot. Board meeting ended not with cheers, but heavy silence. Evan walked out first. Before leaving, he stopped near Maria. He didn't speak loud, only for her. Don't be afraid of people in suits. Fear people without soul. Then he left room like quiet storm, leaving broken trees behind. As door closed, bored faces changed. Respect vanished. Smiles dead. Ice cold. They turned to Maria slowly like wolves turning toward deer. President said softly, but poison inside tone. You think you won today. You will pay tomorrow. Maria walked out without reply, hands shaking, tears burning eyes, but steps firm. She didn't fight them, truth fought for her. Outside building air cold, sky clear now. She stood alone near gate, breathing heavy, praying for strength because she knew war bigger than wallet began today. She held bag close, thinking about little brother waiting at home, smiling without knowing storm coming. She whispered to herself, I did nothing wrong. But fear doesn't check truth, it enters heart anyway. Still she walked forward, thinking of man who saw her, believed her when world laughed at her honesty. Something inside her changed. Small fire began, fire of respect for herself she never had before. And she didn't know next days would bring both pain and hope, both hate and protection, both tears and new life. Camera fades slowly on Maria walking alone on street, rainwater shining on road like silver river behind her, while above building windows, unknown eyes watch her. Some full of hate, one full of quiet care. Maria walked home that night with heavy feet. Rain gone but heart still storming, every streetlight looking like spotlight exposing her fear, every shadow feeling like someone watching her. She held bag close to chest like shield, thinking about the way board looked at her, like she was enemy they needed destroy, not worker who cleaned their floors. Their eyes had hate, not because she did wrong, but because she did right in front of power they wanted for themselves. She reached small room, neighbor smiling kindly, Daniel sleeping with toy car in hand, blanket too thin for cold night. Maria sat beside him, touching his hair, thinking why honesty always makes life harder first before easier. She closed eyes slowly, whispering promise to herself. No matter what they do, my brother must not suffer. And one tear fell on pillow near Daniel's head. Next morning, sun bright like it didn't see pain last night. Birds singing as if world simple. Maria dressed quickly, prepared Daniel for school, kissed his cheek long because she didn't know how day will end. She walked to HOA again, eyes straight, ignoring whispers, ignoring looks. But every step felt like ground soft under feet, not stable. When she entered building lobby, security guard she never liked suddenly opened door for her politely, face forced smile. Ma'am, welcome. Maria confused, respect not real, only fear of Evan's power behind her. She walked past without answer. She started cleaning 27th floor when phone vibrated. Unknown number. Her heart skipped. She answered slowly. Hello? A calm voice spoke, deep but gentle. Maria. It's me. Her breath stopped, hand shaking. Mr. Carter? He replied. Yes, I want to talk. Not in office. Meet me outside building after lunch. Maria swallowed fear. Is something wrong? Evan paused long, like choosing words carefully. Everything is wrong here, but you are part of solution, not problem. Maria agreed quietly. Call ended. For next hours she worked like machine, body moving, mind absent. Every time she wiped mirror, she saw her own scared reflection, asking herself, why did he choose me? What does he want? What if it hurts me? Fear of power sits deep in poor person's stomach, heavy like stone. After lunch she walked outside, cold wind hitting face, hair flying slightly. Evan stood waiting near small coffee stand, wearing same old jacket again, hands in pockets, looking at ground like someone thinking about past. He looked more like worker than millionaire, but honesty in his eyes made him look higher than bored in polished suits. Maria approached slowly. He lifted face, eyes soft, like he was waiting whole morning for this. Walk with me, he said gently. They walked to small quiet park behind building, trees shaking with wind, leaves touching ground, sun reflecting on broken bench. They sat. Silence first. Evan's breathing deep, tired, like he carried world for years. Maria didn't speak, waiting for truth to come on its own time. Finally he looked at her and asked something unexpected. Did you look at photo? Maria's eyes dropped, voice quiet. Yes, one child. Evan nodded, jaw tightening, eyes turning glassy. That child is my daughter. Maria blinked, didn't expect picture to hold story heavy like rock. Evan continued, voice trembling slightly though he tried hold firm. Her name was Lily. She was everything. She died 2 years ago in car accident. My wife blamed me. My work blamed me. I blamed myself. Maria stared, heart twisting inside chest, seeing not CEO now, but father broken behind thick wall. Evan breathed deep, eyes shining with unshed tears. Since she died, I carry her photo everywhere. Wallet became like last memory I can hold with hand. His fingers rubbed edge of wallet slowly. Losing wallet felt like losing her again. Maria's throat tight. She whispered softly, I understand. I lost my parents. That photo is my heart. Evan looked at her with surprise and respect. You didn't take money, but you protected memory. You protected my daughter. Maria shook head gently. I just returned what wasn't mine. Evan smiled sadly. No, you returned something bigger than money. You returned part of my soul. Silence again. Heavy but beautiful. Two pain stories sitting next to each other. Not touching yet healing quietly. Wind shook tree branches like sky listening to them. Evan continued, voice gaining strength. I test people sometimes. I dress like worker, leave wallet or document, just to see how humans act when they see advantage without risk. He looked away, ashamed of test but needing truth. Most take, some pretend. Very few return. Maria eyes lowered, thinking life makes tests without asking permission to. Evan looked at her again. I saw honesty in you when world encourages theft. His voice turned sharp. And I saw cruelty in this building when world expects kindness. Maria listened, heart mixing fear and pride. She felt small and strong at same time. Evan leaned closer slightly, voice deep but soft like confession. I cannot fight this alone. I need someone who knows pain from inside, not from report. Maria confused. Why me? I am just cleaner. Evan shook head gently. No, you are mirror. When system saw itself in you, it broke. Maria looked away, words too heavy for her small world. I don't know politics, she whispered. Evan replied, but you know humanity. He reached inside jacket, took out small folder. Maria stared at it like door to new life. Evan placed it on bench between them, not forcing her to take, just offering. This is job offer, he said. Executive support team. Not cleaning floors, making decisions. Maria's heart exploded inside chest, breath short, world spinning. Me? She whispered, almost disbelief. Evan nodded slow. Yes, salary 4 times more. Housing support. Education for your brother. Tears filled Maria's eyes instantly. Memory of nights counting coins for bread cutting inside her. She covered mouth with shaking hand, unable speak. Daniel's face flashed in her mind. New school, warm clothes, future without hunger. But heart also scared of danger. Board will hate her more. Residents will gossip. World not comfortable with poor person climbing wall of privilege. Evan saw fear in her eyes and spoke softly like father calming child. This is not charity. Charity gives then walks away. This is opportunity because you earned it. Maria whispered, voice shaking. I don't want enemies. Evan replied, truth creates enemies first, then friends. Maria touched folder lightly, as if afraid it might disappear if she held too hard. I can't read big contracts, she said honestly. Evan smiled small. Then I read for you. No tricks. He opened folder, explaining slowly each line, like teacher teaching child without making child feel small. Maria listened, surprised by kindness. But suddenly something cracked, peaceful moment. Evan's phone buzzed hard. He checked screen. Face changed. Eyes dark. He stood fast. Someone leaked meeting video, he whispered. Maria confused. Video? Evan looked towards building glass shining in distance, jaw tight. Recording of guards laughing at you. It's online. Maria's stomach dropped. Whole city watching her humiliation now. She shook head. No, my brother's school. Evan placed hand on bench close to her. Not touching but giving energy. Listen to me. They leaked to destroy me. But it will destroy them. Maria looked at him, heart pounding. How? Evan replied with confidence she never saw. People hate cruelty more than poverty. Evan stepped closer, tone serious now, heavy leadership voice. Take job. Let me fight system with you. Not for you. Maria looked at folder again. Tears falling silently, dropping like stars on paper. She whispered, half to him, half to life. I am scared. Evan answered instantly, voice soft and deep. So am I. That means it's right. She took folder, hands trembling. Decision made, not loud, not dramatic, but quiet like sunrise. At same moment, HOA board sat inside building, watching video views explode online, comments flooding, anger rising. Their faces pale, eyes dark with hate, whispering plan to destroy Maria before she becomes symbol. One bored woman smashed table with fist. She will ruin everything, President replied cold. We destroy her reputation before she speaks. Storm began from both sides now. Truth rising like sun, hate rising like shadow. Maria walked home that evening with folder pressed to chest, feeling world heavy and world open at same time. Daniel ran to door, hugging her legs, smiling big, asking innocent question. Did you bring me chocolate? Maria laughed through tears, kissing his head, whispering, maybe one day I bring whole world. She cooked dinner, mind distant, staring at folder like map she doesn't know how read. Night deep, Daniel sleeping beside her. Maria opened folder under candlelight, touching paper like dream. One sentence repeating in her mind. You remembered humanity when everyone forgot. Outside window city bright like stars fell on earth. Maria lay awake, staring ceiling, thinking fear and hope mixed like single breath. She whispered into darkness, please protect my brother. Then sleep came heavy like mountain on shoulders. Camera fades slowly. One room, one folder, one poor girl, one millionaire, one storm coming. Morning arrived with weak sunlight touching cracked window glass in Maria's small room, painting her tired face with thin gold lines that didn't remove the heavy shadow under her eyes. She didn't sleep much, mind fighting every thought like waves hitting rocks again and again. Fear sitting inside her like stone that didn't melt even with warmth of blanket. She woke early, before Daniel's alarm, sitting on edge of bed with folder on her lap, fingers touching paper like checking if dreams still real. Her heart wanted hope, but her mind full of fear, because poor person knows that when door opens suddenly, sometimes it opens to blessing, sometimes to punishment from world that hates seeing someone climb without permission. She dressed quietly, made breakfast for Daniel, bread and tea, while he smiled with sleepy eyes, unaware of storm outside walls. He talked about drawing competition at school, small excitement in his voice like spark in darkness. Maria smiled, hiding worry deep so child can breathe without weight she carries. She kissed his cheek, walked out into cold morning, folder in bag like secret fire she could not show yet. When she reached HOA building, she felt something wrong even before entering. Security guards who previously laughed at her now stood like stone statues. No smile, no respect, only stiff bodies and blank eyes, their silence heavier than insult. Residents in lobby looked at her differently, not like invisible worker anymore, but like target. Some stared with disgust, some whispered behind hands, some lifted phones recording her like she was animal they want to show online. Maria's heart jumped, throat tight. She didn't know why until she heard small sound. Notification from dozens of phones around her. Then she saw screen one woman held. Video of guards laughing at Maria yesterday, posted online with title, Poor cleaner teased for honesty in rich building. Comment section full of fire. Some supporting her, calling her hero, some insulting her appearance, some saying she planned everything for attention, some saying she pretended honesty to get rich man's sympathy. Internet turned her into war she didn't want. People arguing without knowing her name, without knowing she cries quietly every night after work. without knowing how many times she said no to temptation because she wanted sleep without shame. Now strangers judging her with anger sharp as knife. Maria tried walk to service elevator, but board member's daughter, girl with expensive coat, blocked her path, voice loud so others hear. Congratulations. Poor girl becomes actress now. People laughed softly. Maria lowered eyes, walked around without reply. Attack from words sharper than slap. She reached storage room, leaned against wall, breathing fast, chest tight like rope around lungs. She closed eyes, whispering to herself, "Stay calm. You did nothing wrong." But internet whirled louder than her whisper. Suddenly her phone rang, unknown number again. She answered with shaking voice. "Hello." Evan's calm tone came, but tension inside voice. "Where are you?" Maria tried speak normally. "I just reached work." Evan replied fast. "You don't work today. Come to my office." Maria stammered, but bored. Evan cut with quiet authority. "Bored has no control over your life anymore." His words like strong hands lifting her from ground. Maria walked out of building fast, ignoring whispers stabbing her from behind. When she stepped outside, wind cold but cleaner than air inside building full of hate hidden in luxury. Evan's car already waiting, black car simple but powerful. Door opened automatically. Maria sat inside, clutching bag, body trembling from emotional cuts she received in only few minutes. Evan sat beside, driver closed door. For first few seconds, Evan didn't speak. He watched her face silently, breathing heavy, lips shaking, eyes red. He understood everything without words, because he saw similar pain in his own mirror after his daughter died and world judged him without knowing truth. He said softly, not CEO voice, human voice, "I'm sorry. I didn't want this for you." Maria shook head slow, tears falling without permission. "People think I did this for attention?" Evan replied instantly, voice strong like wall. "Truth doesn't need attention. Truth speaks itself. People who cannot see it are blind by choice." Maria looked out window, tears sliding down cheeks quietly. "They hate me," she whispered. Evan stared forward, jaw tight. "They hate what they cannot control." His voice became colder, steel under calm. "And bored is angry because you broke their picture of reality. A poor person cannot be moral in their world. You destroyed their lies." Car stopped at tall building. Evan's headquarters, glass reaching sky like tower of light. Maria swallowed breath, heart shaking inside ribs. Two guards opened door with respect she never imagined in life. They didn't see cleaner. They saw someone CEO brought personally. Respect not from identity, but from trust of man they fear. She walked inside behind Evan, steps slow, eyes wide at world of polished floors, quiet hallways, people wearing suits with eyes full busy light. No one laughed at her here. No one spoke about shoes. No one called her stupid. They only watched her with curiosity because CEO walking beside her, not in front. Evan entered private office, glass walls showing entire city like painting. He closed blinds so room turned soft with warm light instead of harsh brightness. He sat near small table, not at big desk like king. He gestured Maria to sit. She sat carefully, hands on lap, breathing slow but heavy. Evan looked at her long, expression a mix of anger for what happened and admiration for her strength. "Internet storms come fast," he said quietly. "But they burn out when truth stronger than noise." Maria whispered, "Noise hurts." Evan nodded, voice gentle. "Yes, because noise enters heart. But listen, it will stop." He opened laptop, turned screen to her. Comments flooding, some cruel, some kind. But most liked comment from random person. She returned wallet without taking penny. Hate her for what? Thousands liked. Maria read it, tears soft again. Evan smiled small. People with heart always louder at end. Then his face changed to serious tone. "But bored will not stop. They want revenge." Maria's body froze, fear rising like cold wave from feet to neck. Evan leaned forward slightly, voice protective like shield. "You are not alone now. Remember that." Maria nodded slowly, feeling small warmth in chest. Evan opened another file, new HOA audit plan. He showed list, false fines, harassment cases, video evidence, witness statements. Maria looked shocked. He already working before she accepted job fully. Evan saw surprise in her eyes, said, I don't move slow. When truth wakes, I run. He handed her card, golden access ID, her name printed official, Maria Santos, executive support team. Maria stared at it like seeing her future printed in small card. Her fingers trembling, touching letters, feeling them real. She whispered, I don't know how be this person. Evan answered calmly, You already are. This card only shows world what you are. He stood, walked to window, staring city below like battlefield of invisible wars between rich privilege and poor survival. His voice low but powerful. Board used power like weapon. Now you and I use truth as answer. Maria stood too, walking slowly, unsure if she allowed to stand beside him. But he didn't separate distance. They stood side by side, watching world from height she never imagined. Suddenly his phone buzzed again. Short text. He read, face darkening. Board filed complaint against you, he said quietly. Maria's knees weakened. Complaint? For what? Evan explained, voice controlled. They claim you stole wallet first and returned later to get attention. Maria mouth opened, shock. But that is lie. Evan nodded. Yes, but lies easy to sell when truth uncomfortable. Maria's body trembled. They can destroy me. Everything? Evan turned fast, stepped closer, eyes deep. Not while I stand. His tone made room still. No one questioned when man speaks with pain and power together. He picked phone again, dialed number quickly, voice switching to CEO command like sword unsheathed. File immediate injunction. Protect individual from character attack. Send legal notice to HOA. Then he hung up, turned back to Maria, voice soft again as if switching human switch. I told you, you are not alone. Maria looked at him with eyes full confusion. How can man have two voices? One soft like father, one strong like thunder. Evan held her gaze, his own eyes carrying sadness that never left since daughter died. He whispered, I lost family once because I was not there. I won't let anything happen to yours. Maria tears fell fast now, not from fear only, but from sudden protection she never knew existed in world that always took from her. She whispered, Why you care so much? Evan breathed slow, closing eyes for second like gathering old pain. Because your honesty reminded me who I was before grief killed me. Silence heavy again, but silence healing, not hurting. Evan sat back slowly, calming himself. Listen carefully, he said, voice steady. Today world knows you. Tomorrow world will know truth. And truth is stronger than board. Maria nodded like child trusting teacher. Evan continued, but truth needs patience. You must be brave, not loud. Brave is quiet. Then office door knocked. Assistant entered, face worried. Sir, protest forming in front of HOA. People angry at board. They supporting Maria. Evan raised eyebrow slightly. Interesting. Maria shocked. Protest for her? She never imagined even one stranger would stand for her. Forget group. Evan smiled half. Truth moves faster than lies sometimes. He stood, taking phone folder. We go, he said. Maria panicked. Where? Evan replied, walking. To show them honesty has face. And it is not board's face. Maria followed, heart pounding, body shaking but walking without stopping. New strength growing like root inside chest. Car drove fast through streets. When they reached HOA, crowd standing with signs. Stop punishing workers. Honesty is not stupidity. We support Maria. Board must answer. Maria froze, tears blurring vision. People she never met shouting her name like she's symbol of something big now. Board stood inside glass lobby, faces tight with fear. Seeing power they thought they owned suddenly leave them like sand from hand. Evan walked in with Maria beside. Press cameras flashing. He spoke to media, voice low, clear. You saw truth. She didn't ask for attention. She returned memory of a child. Crowd quieted. He held wallet in hand, showing photo. This photo is my daughter. She protected it more than guards protected their own dignity. People gasped, bored pale like ghosts. He continued, this community must choose. Stand with cruelty or stand with honesty. Crowd roared, honesty. Maria stood beside him, shaking but strong, eyes wet, face peaceful for first time. Because truth stood tall behind her, not against her. Board tried speak but crowd drowned them. Evan turned to Maria, whispering softly only for her. Your story bigger than you now, that is both gift and burden. But I walk with you. Maria nodded slowly, tears streaming. Camera zooms close on her face. Fear and courage together like sunrise fighting night. People chanting her name, calling for justice. Children watching from windows, learning honesty not stupidity. Evan raised Maria's hand like victory symbol, not victory of war, but victory of heart that refused money when life hungry. Maria's lips shook, but she whispered something through tears that caught microphones. I only returned what wasn't mine. Crowd exploded in applause, some crying, some hugging strangers. Board removed from stage by police under investigation for corruption. People cheering. Maria not cheering. She crying quietly, overwhelmed by power of moment. Power she never asked for but destiny threw at her. Evening fell heavy with lights of cameras, voices of people, noise of justice breaking old wall. Evan walked with Maria to car, shielding her from crowd politely. When door closed, inside quiet, outside loud. Evan looked at her slowly. She looked back, breathing shaky, whispering, is this real? Evan nodded, voice calm. Yes, and tomorrow more. Car moved through night, city lights reflecting in window like stars dancing. Maria leaned head against glass, tears falling quietly. Evan rested hand near her, not touching, but close enough she felt safe. He whispered, truth makes storms first, then peace. She closed eyes slowly, breathing deep for first time in days. Storm started with wallet in rain. Now storm cleaning dirt from community. Camera fades slowly on two silhouettes inside car. One man who lost daughter. One woman who lost world many times but kept heart pure. Two broken have slowly becoming whole strength. Next morning came heavy, not with rain, but with weight of world pressing against glass windows of Evan's office. Air felt like electricity before lightning. Quiet but dangerous. Every hallway whispering tension. Every worker moving like soldier preparing battle that doesn't use bullets but uses paper, proof, and courage instead. Evan stood by window early, wearing black shirt, eyes sharp, mind full of numbers and names that show corruption like wounds bleeding behind clean walls. Today was not normal day. Today was audit day. Day where truth steps into light and lies run like rats in dark corners. Maria entered office wearing simple clothes, not suit, not heels, but carrying something bigger than fashion. Honesty in eyes, strength in steps, fear hidden under small smile. She held folder close like shield, heart beating fast like drum warning body of danger. She felt world too big for her, like child walking into courtroom with giants. But when she saw Evan waiting, shoulders straight, eyes full of silent support meant only for her. She breathed a little easier, like someone just placed hand on her back saying, I'm here. Ready? Evan asked softly, not CEO voice, human voice. No. Maria whispered honestly, eyes shaking. Good, Evan said, small smile appearing. Only fools feel ready. Brave people feel fear and walk anyway. Maria breathed deep, nodded, following him into boardroom. Inside boardroom, long table looked like battlefield. HOA board sat stiff, faces tight like they hadn't slept, eyes full of anger hidden behind fake politeness. They prepared counterattack, not apology. Lawyers beside them, screens ready, papers thick like walls. Evan entered with small team, not many, just few experts with evidence. And Maria, only worker ever allowed in room like this, standing with hands shaking slightly but spirit tall. Meeting started. Words sharp, Board pretended innocence, said Maria created drama, said video edited, said they punished her because she stole attention, said people online stupid, don't understand business. Every sentence like dirty water thrown at Maria's name. She lowered eyes, heard again, like 1,000 needles pressing heart. Then Evan stood slowly, like storm rising from quiet sea. His voice low but powerful, each word calm like blade in dark. Enough lies. Room silent instantly. Board froze. Evan turned screen, evidence played. Dozens of videos saved from years. Board insulting poor residents. Fake fines, forced payments, threats to leave, humiliation hidden behind legal language. People gasped, lawyers silent, bored eyes wide with fear they tried hide. Then last video played. Guards laughing at Maria, her returning wallet, her walking away quietly. But this time video zoomed on her face. Tired, calm, dignity in eyes, silence stronger than their insults. Board looked small now, smaller than moment they thought themselves gods. Evan spoke again, voice cold like snow on fire. You tried to destroy her reputation. Now world will know truth. You destroyed your own. Words hit like hammer on stone. Maria looked at Evan with shock. He wasn't defending her like hero saving victim. He was defending truth like king protecting kingdom built on values not money. She saw a man who lost everything but didn't lose soul. Tears gathered in her eyes, not from pain now. From respect so deep it felt like something blooming in heart after years of nothing growing. Board tried to interrupt, shouting about mistake, misunderstanding, context, but Evan raised hands slightly. Silence returned like someone turned off sound. You punished honest person because honesty made your corruption visible, he said slowly. And you thought poor girl has no voice. Now she is voice of everyone you ignored. His eyes sharp like truth itself. Then something happened no one expected. Evan turned away from Board and looked directly at Maria, in front of room, in front of world. Tell them, he said softly. Maria froze, breath stuck. Tell what? Evan whispered. Your truth. From beginning. Room silent like graveyard. Everyone waiting. Maria stood slowly, legs shaking, body small under lights, but voice came out soft, trembling at first then stronger with every word. She told story. Parents dying from illness, her quitting school to raise Daniel, working 3 jobs, eating once so brother can eat twice, cleaning rich houses that throw leftovers but keep hearts locked. She told how she found wallet, how she didn't take money even when stomach empty, how guards laughed, how Board punished honesty instead of thanking it. Tears fell without shame. Her voice cracked at parts but never broke. Room full of silence heavy like mountains. Some people looked away, ashamed for whole system that made child raise child while rich argue about carpets. One lawyer wiped eyes quietly. Board looked like statues of guilt, stone faces melting now. Evan stepped beside Maria, not in front, but beside equal. This, he said, pointing gently at her, is strength, not your money, not your houses. He turned to Board. She lost everything and still returned what wasn't hers. You have everything and still take what isn't yours. Words like fire burning lies. Then he announced calm. I am removing current HOA board. Effective today. Gasps in room. Shock like explosion with no sound. Board shouted. Lawyers stood. Chaos. But Evan already signed papers. Evidence heavy as weapon no one can block. Guards came. Escorted Board out slowly like shadows pulled away from light. Maria watched scene like dream she never imagined. Real power is truth, not position. Tears on her cheeks dried in warm light falling through windows. Evan breathed deep like man finishing long war of heart. Meeting ended. People left slowly, glancing at Maria, some with respect, some with shame, some with awe. She stood alone for a moment, hands shaking, mind empty. Evan approached her, voice soft again. You changed everything today. Maria shook head. You changed it. Evan smiled small. I only opened door. You walked through. They walked out building, air fresh like first time breathing clean after years of dust. Outside press waiting, crowd cheering, some holding flowers, some holding signs. People hugged Maria, strangers thanking her, children looking at her like hero. She cried again. She never saw herself hero. She only did simple thing, returned wallet that wasn't hers. But world forgot simplicity is biggest courage when you have nothing. Later that evening, Evan invited Maria and Daniel to his home for dinner. Small dinner, not fancy. His home big, but he made it warm, not cold like other rich houses. Daniel ran around big living room, laughing freely like child should. Maria watched with soft smile, eyes shining with happiness mixed with sadness, because she felt life giving back something it took too early. After dinner, Daniel slept on sofa hugging new toy Evan gave him, small lion. Evan and Maria sat outside on balcony. Night quiet, stars watching silently like old friends. Evan spoke about his daughter, her laughter, her paintings, her love for rain. Maria listened with heart open, pain mixing with beauty. Maria spoke about her parents, her brother, her fear, her dreams so small she never spoke them before. They shared pain like two broken pieces, noticing their cracks match shape of each other. Evan looked at Maria long, eyes soft. When Lily died, I thought I would never breathe without pain. But today, I breathed differently. Maria swallowed, voice quiet. Why? Evan looked at Daniel sleeping through window. Because I saw love again. Not big love in speeches, small love in actions. He looked into Maria's eyes. You saved wallet. You saved memory of my daughter. That saved me more than you know. Maria's heart heavy and light together. She whispered, you saved me too. I was drowning in world that acts like poor people don't deserve respect. Evan shook head. World wrong. You proved that. Night deepened. Wind soft. Moment quiet like two souls thanking universe silently without words. Then, doorbell sound faint through house. Evan frowned slightly, check screen. Delivery. No. Envelope on ground, no sender name. Evan picked it, opened slowly. Inside. Printed photo, Maria and Evan standing together earlier today. Under photo. Small handwritten line. Truth has enemies you can't see. Evan's eyes darkened, jaw tight. Maria felt fear return like ice in blood. Someone watching. Someone planning. Bored gone. But new danger alive. Silent like shadow waiting for night. Evan looked at Maria. Voice low and calm but hard like steel under soft cloth. Whatever comes next, you don't face alone. Maria nodded slowly, gripping balcony rail, eyes on stars, whispering inside her heart for strength again. Camera pulls back slowly from balcony. Night sky wide above, city lights below. One millionaire who lost everything and one woman who had nothing. Now standing together against world that doesn't like truth rising from floor. Storm changed shape now. Not about wallet, about power, about humanity, about revenge hidden in dark. Night deep and heavy after anonymous envelope arrived. Darkness outside house felt different now. Not peaceful like few minutes ago when stars looked like small candles of hope, but sharp like knife pressed against glass window by someone whose face hidden behind black intention. Evan held photo in hand, fingers pressing edge without noticing, jaw tight, calm face breaking slightly like crack forming under strong surface. Maria watched him quietly, eyes full of fear she tried hide because she didn't want Daniel to wake and see world dangerous again. Whole life she tried keep child safe from darkness even if she stood in darkness alone. But tonight darkness walked close, sat quietly with them like unwanted guest. Evan didn't speak for long. Silence stretched like long road in night with no end. Then he folded photo slowly and placed envelope inside his coat pocket. Eyes steady, breathing controlled. It starts, he said softly. Maria swallowed, voice shaking. Who is doing this? Evan looked at stars, eyes reflecting pain from old memories and new threat. People who lose power don't disappear. They hide. They wait. They watch. Maria's hands cold, heart rushing like drum of fear. She whispered, bored. Evan shook head slightly. Not only bored. Someone bigger, connected to them. Maria felt chills run through spine. Before more words could form, small voice came from living room. Sleepy, scared. Maria. Daniel stood at door, holding toy lion tightly, eyes wide like he sensed fear even in sleep. Children always feel danger before adults explain it. Maria rushed to him, kneeling, hugging tight, whispering soft lies made from love. It's okay. Everything fine. Daniel looked at Evan, trusting him like uncle who protects. Why you look sad? Evan forced gentle smile, walked closer, sat on floor near them, keeping things human, not dramatic. Sometimes grown-ups have to solve problems, he said quietly. But problems don't touch children. I promise. Daniel nodded, sleepy, trusting promise without knowing world sometimes breaks promises because world has cold hands. Maria took him back to sofa, covered him, kissed forehead. When she returned to balcony, fear she hid from Daniel poured out of her eyes like water breaking dam. She stood near railing, whole body shaking, tears falling fast without sound. Mouth open but no voice, pain silent like screams stuck in throat. Evan walked to her slowly, not touching, giving space for pain to exist without shame. Maria lifted face, tear-streaked, voice breaking like glass. Why they hate me? I did nothing wrong. I only returned wallet. Words carried weight of whole life where honesty became punishment instead of pride. Why world hurt people who have nothing? She whispered like prayer tonight. Evan stood beside her, looking at sky, speaking slowly, truth heavy, voice soft like confession. Because your honesty shows their corruption, and corruption hates mirror. Maria cried harder, shoulders shaking, hands covering face, voice cracking. I am tired. I fought all my life for small things. Bread, rent, school fees. Now I have to fight rich people too. She leaned against railing, crying without control. Years of silent pain finally found voice tonight. Not because of danger, but because someone finally listened without judgment. Evan finally moved closer, very close, still not touching, but warmth of presence calming storm in her. He spoke slow. I understand your tiredness. I know pain that doesn't sleep at night. Maria turned, tears falling, eyes searching his. How? She asked through tears, voice desperate, like someone wanting reason to trust life again. Evan's eyes softened, full of pain shaped like memory that never fades. He took deep breath, voice quiet. I was not born rich. Maria blinked, surprised. Evan looked away from her into darkness of garden. My mother cleaned houses, just like you. My father worked in mechanic shop. We lived in 2 rooms. I studied under street light because electricity cut half nights. I worked in factory after school. When I became CEO, I promised myself never forget where I came from. His voice trembled slightly, not dramatic, just truth leaving heart slowly. But when my daughter died, pain made me blind. I closed door to past, to everything. I lived like ghost in big house. He looked at her again, eyes wet. Then you returned wallet, returned memory of my little girl, without knowing who I am. You reminded me who I was before grief drowned me. Maria stared through tears, breathing heavy. She saw real man, not rich symbol. Man with broken heart, same wounds, different shape. Their pain, different paths, but same destination. Survival. She whispered, voice small. I am nobody, but you see me like I am someone. Evan shook head slow. You were someone. You were someone even when world didn't see. Silence again, but silence warm now. Not painful silence where 2 souls recognize similar scars. Maria wiped tears with hands, shoulders still shaking, whispering, I don't want Daniel to live same life. Same fear. Evan nodded. He won't. Not while I am here. Promise heavy, real, dangerous, because promise like this creates enemies who don't fight fair. Inside house, Daniel murmured in sleep, small hand reaching pillow like searching safety. Maria looked at him from balcony door, heart breaking and healing same time. She turned back to Evan, voice steadier now. I will fight, but I don't know how. Evan replied, you don't fight with anger. You fight with truth and courage to stand even when legs shaking. Maria nodded slowly. Suddenly loud bang outside gate. Metal sound echoing through quiet street. Maria jumped, fear bursting fresh, eyes wide. Evan reacted instantly. He moved to balcony edge, scanning darkness. Guard from gate ran to doorbell camera, flashlight shaking. Camera screen showed car speeding away, leaving something near gate, dark shape, not moving. Evan's jaw tightened. He rushed downstairs with security. Maria held Daniel, heart beating like drum of terror. Minutes later, Evan returned inside house carrying broken picture frame from his own house wall thrown near gate. Picture of Lily, glass shattered. Maria covered mouth, tears exploding again, pain of his pain tearing her heart. Evan looked at broken frame like someone stabbed memory of his child deliberately. On broken glass, someone wrote with black marker, "Return wallet or pay price." Maria read words, fear freezing blood. Someone attacking memory of dead child, trying to break man from inside, not outside. This is not bored anymore, this personal war now. Evan breathed slow, pain and rage fighting inside him like two wolves. His eyes turned dark. Not angry at Maria, angry at shadow hurting child's memory. He whispered, voice shaking but controlled, "They want to scare me. They want to break you." Maria held frame edges carefully, tears dropping on glass. "I caused this," she whispered. Evan turned fast, strong voice. "No, they caused this. Your honesty did nothing wrong. Their corruption hates light, so it scratches darkness around us. Don't carry guilt of their actions." He took frame from her, placed it gently on table like touching heart of child again. He looked at Maria, voice slower. "Now listen, this battle not just about bored. Someone bigger is behind. Someone who benefits from injustice." Maria whispered, "Who?" Evan shook head. "I don't know yet, but I will find out." Maria hugged Daniel tight, child sleeping innocent, unaware world outside trying to break his guardian angels. Evan stood near them, silent promise forming in eyes. War without weapons, war with truth. Night turned deeper, wind colder. House quiet, but inside quiet war of emotions raging. Evan sat in living room alone later, holding Lily's broken frame, eyes closed, whispering something only heart could understand. "I won't lose again." Maria stood in hallway watching him, tears still falling but fear turning slowly into something else. Courage born from someone believing in her. She whispered into darkness, soft but strong, "We fight together." Camera pulls away slowly from scene. One woman holding sleeping child, one man holding broken memory. Two lives now tied not by money, not by pity, but by pain and truth. Outside street empty, but someone hidden watching house from far corner, silhouette fading in dark. Eyes cold, waiting for next move. Storm no longer about reputation. Now it's survival of truth. Morning arrived, sky gray, wind cold like something whispered danger into clouds overnight. Evan barely slept, sitting in living room chair with broken frame in hands, staring at Lily's photo through cracked glass like speaking to her silently. "Give me strength today." Maria woke early too, eyes swollen from crying but spirit sharper like blade shapes in fire. She made breakfast quietly, butter on bread trembling slightly from shaking hands. Daniel smiled half asleep, not knowing night carried shadow. She kissed his forehead, whispering inside heart, "Please stay safe today." At school gate, Daniel hugged her long, sensing something heavy. Maria hugged tighter, burying face in his hair for second like trying to protect him with love alone. After he entered school, she stood there some seconds, staring at gate like fear might walk out if she turned away. Evan touched her shoulder gently, voice calm, "He will be safe." She nodded slow, trusting something she did not fully understand. Trust born from pain, not from words. They drove to Evan's office together. Inside meeting room, two investigators waited with files as thick as history. They found something last night. Board wasn't mastermind. Someone above board, someone rich enough to control HOA like personal playground. Evan opened file, photo slide. Maria gasped when she saw familiar face. Not board member, not politician, developer who built the entire HOA community years ago. Man known for charity speeches, awards, smiling face on magazine covers, called Builder of Dreams by newspapers. His name, Victor Lang. Millionaire who pretended to help communities but stole from them silently. Evan spoke quietly. Victor created false fines, forced payments to his side company. Board helped him hide it. When you returned wallet, Board panicked that truth will expose everything. Maria shook with anger, not fear now. Anger that someone stole from hundreds of poor families silently while showing big heart in public. He used Board. He used residence. He used power. Evan nodded. Yes, and he thinks he can use fear too. Suddenly investigator showed message on tablet. Digital proof Victor's men through frame at gate. Text chains, bank transfers, threats to Board. Everything connected. Evan's eyes darkened. Voice quiet but sharp like broken glass. He attacked Lily's memory. Not just business now, personal war. Maria saw fire burning behind Evan's painful calm. Evan stood slowly, face still, calm like sea before hurricane. We go, he said. Maria stared, shocked. Where? Evan replied, to end this. Before Maria could speak, investigator interrupted. Sir, dangerous. He has security. Evan looked at him, voice steady. I have truth. They reached Victor's private office downtown. Tall glass tower smiling at sky like arrogance. Security tried block entrance, saying no appointment. Evan didn't shout. He only said one line, voice quiet. He threw my daughter's memory at my gate. Guards froze, not knowing what those words mean but understanding heaviness behind them. They moved aside without looking up. Victor Lang sat behind big desk, wearing perfect suit, hair perfect, smile fake perfect. When Evan entered with Maria, Victor smiled like old friend meeting forgotten friend. Evan, you should call. We could have coffee like old times. His tone warm but eyes cold like ice frozen around greed. He looked at Maria with charming smile. And this is the famous girl internet crying about. Maria clenched fists quietly. You heard a child's grave, Evan said slowly. Victor raised eyebrows, pretending surprise. What are you talking about? Evan placed photo evidence on table, threats, payments, Board messages. Victor looked at papers like reading joke, then smiled wider. These are business tactics, Evan. Don't act shocked. You used same methods when you built your empire. Evan didn't move, voice calm. I built my empire with work, not by stealing bread from poor. Victor's mask slipped for second, eyes narrow, voice rude truth. Poor stay poor unless someone uses them. This is world. Maria stepped forward suddenly, voice trembling not from fear, from rage that shakes soul of person who saw mother clean floors until her fingers cracked. You lie. Poor stay poor because people like you take from them what little they have. Victor looked at her with arrogance. Girl, world not fair. Accept it. Maria replied, voice raw. World becomes fair when someone fights. Victor laughed cruelly like choking sound of man who thinks money is shield against humanity. Fight, he mocked. Fight what? Board gone. So what? You think crowd love will protect you? Crowd forgets tomorrow. Evan stepped between them, voice firm like ground under storm. Crowd may forget, but law does not. He placed USB drive on table. Victor stopped smiling. Evan's voice quiet but deadly honest. Evidence of your crimes already sent to authorities, media, and housing commission. Today not meeting. Today goodbye. Victor stood quickly, face red. You ruined everything. I will destroy you. Evan looked directly in his eyes, face calm like man holding memory of daughter stronger than fear of any enemy. You already tried. Then his voice turned soft, dangerous truth. You failed. Victor's men moved forward aggressively, security tense. But elevator doors opened suddenly. Police officers walked in, serious faces, arrest warrant in hand. Victor tried calm face, pretending misunderstanding. Police didn't listen. They cuffed him, reading charges. Fraud, extortion, intimidation, assault, theft. Victor struggled, shouting threats, blaming everyone, even his own shadow. Maria stood watching, chest rising fast. tears again in eyes. Not sadness, shock of justice working for someone like her. Years she thought law belongs to rich only, but today law walked for poor woman with soft voice but strong heart. Victor passed by her while being taken, eyes burning hate, whispering, "This world will eat you alive." Maria didn't blink. Whisper returned like quiet fire, "Not today." Police pulled him away. His voice echoing in hallway. Empty sound of man whose empire built on lies collapsed in one morning because one cleaner returned wallet without taking penny. When door closed, silence heavy like truth after storm. Evan stood still, looking tired in bones but light in eyes. Maria looked at him, voice shaking. "It's over." Evan nodded slow. "Part of war is over. Your life changes now." She breathed, tears falling soft. Evan looked at ground, voice quiet. "Victor said one thing right, world not fair. But we can make part of it fair." He looked at her, something deeper than respect now. Something shaped from shared pain and trust. On way back to car, Maria's phone rang, school calling. Heart jumped. She answered, fear returning like lightning. But voice said happy words. Daniel won first prize in drawing competition. Maria covered mouth, tears falling fast, pure joy for first time. Not pain tears, joy tears. She looked at Evan laughing through tears. He won. Evan smiled soft like father seeing child first time holding trophy. Let's go to him. They drove to school. Daniel running with big smile, paper in hand, drawing of lion, big sun, and small house with flowers. He saw Maria, ran into her arms. She lifted him, tears mixing with laughter. Evan watched, eyes shining, seeing picture of his own daughter for second in Daniel's smile. Maria kneeled, hugging Daniel tight, whispering, "You are my brave boy." Daniel whispered back, "You too." Simple words, heavy meaning. Later evening, they sat in Evan's garden. Quiet place where wind feels like soft hands and sky feels close enough to touch. Daniel played with lion toy under tree. Maria sat beside Evan. Silence peaceful now, not heavy. Birds returning home, like pain returning to memories instead of present. Evan spoke slow, like truth leaving heart for last time tonight. When Lily died, I stopped living. Today, I started again. Maria looked at him, tears quiet. When my parents died, I thought I will never stand again. Today, I stood. Two broken people healed small pieces inside each other. Not love story, human story, where kindness is rare hero, and courage grows in places where hunger, loss, fear lived before. Evan looked at sky, whispering, "Thank you, Lily." Maria heard, heart warm. Camera zooms out slowly. One man who lost daughter, one woman who lost parents, one child who gained future. Sitting under same sky, shadows gone farther, light closer. Wind soft like blessing. New HOA board formed from residents who love fairness. Maria given position, not powerful chair, but position where she can help families, stop false fines, bring truth to system. Daniel starts better school next month. Evan visits often, not with gifts, with presence, guiding, supporting, respecting. Final scene. Maria locking door at night, Daniel already sleeping with Lion. She looks at wallet she returned long ago. Evan gave it to her as symbol. She touches it gently, whispering, "Life returns what you give." Lights fade.